Should I do like this for product placement?
Oh, look at that. So incredible. Hey, everybody, it's bourbonblog.com live Cigar Saturday with Matty Rock joining us live from Saja's. I'm Tom Fischer, and it's our good friend Robert Jacob Lerma of Lerma Photography. He's joining us from Austin, Texas. You all know him for his wonderful cuisine, whiskey, barbecue photography. He's been featured everywhere from what, Nat Geo, New York Times. Is there anywhere you haven't been in photography-wise that you want to be in? You've been in so many great places.
You know, I haven't been in Vogue, or actually I have been in Vogue. Cosmopolitan, Sunset magazine. My buddy was talking about Sunset last night. Said it started out as this outdoors, Southern magazine. So I was like, connect me with them folks. As far as I thought that was my grandma's magazine these days, but I've been fortunate to shoot everywhere, in the United States and around the country, and I'm very blessed. So I don't know. I mean, I've done a lot, but there's always room to do more.
Well, your photography is amazing, and I wanted to just make sure I put it throughout your Instagram, or where do you want me to put it? Instagram, website? Which of those do you want me to throw up there?
I mean, Instagram's that's fine. Let's just keep it simple. It's my name, Robert Jacob Lerma, and funny quick story why I use my middle name is I remember when I was working at the sheriff's office, I would get so many calls when I started my website, thinking that I was a defense attorney, and come to find out there was a defense attorney named Robert Lerma in South Texas, who his clients would call me when they wanted to get bailed out of jail. So I was like, I need a distinction, so I'm going to use my middle name. So there's no more confusion.
Make a distinction. That's a good thing to do. Have you still get calls? Is it still around?
I'm that kind of guy. I'm like, dude, what'd you do, bro? I got this shit.
You belong there. Stay there.
You could always take an advance on a credit card or something, couldn't you?
Is this Tom again? Tom, lose my number.
I'm like, hi, yes, I do take PayPal and Venmo. Wait, what? I'm like, what? I'm the lawyer that makes your life easier. Come on.
I think this was way back when we didn't even have that stuff. There was like MoneyGrams and Western Union back then.
All right, I'd let it go. I'd have to let it go. Yeah. I see no benefit to it.
Did you ever meet this guy? Was he close by to you or anything?
No, he's in South Texas, and if you've been to Texas, you can go for where I am, 6 hours in any direction, you're still in Texas, pretty much from Austin. Right. So it's far South Texas. I never met him, but I should have called him and say, hey, dude, we're getting mixed up all the time.
Oh, that's great. That's fantastic. No, it's so great to have you on here all the way from Austin, Texas. Matty, how's everything at Sanja's tonight? And look at that shirt. What am I seeing on that shirt?
We're seeing some old school Mark Echo action, because you know me, and my wardrobe is like sitting back still from the 90s. It's not really that hard to guess with me. So some old school guys fighting Mark Echo. And of course we have the man with plan. We have
Sanj.
How are you, brother?
Good to see you, Sanj. How are you?
Likewise, pal.
Mark Echo, Matty, that's taking it way back. I mean, I haven't heard Mark Echo since 8th grade. That's like 95.
Well, I'm old and shit, so I'm that old guy. You'll see me 50 years from now. Hey, bitches, looking at me rock the cutting soul from Echo. I was dope back in the day.
But I mean, that's what we're seeing now with all the Wu-Tang guys. They're like 50, 60 years old. Still wearing baggy ass pants. Who do you think I look up to?
I mean, my rap ends at that era, so those are all my guys. I'm like, what do you mean you're not listening to KRS-One or Public Enemy or Eric B and Rakim? Boo! Yeah. They're like, dude, you old son. I'm like, yeah, it's true.
And I don't think, Tom, I mean, that's your uniform now. I don't think you can go anywhere without a bow tie. It'll be awkward. It'll be weird.
Well, you're right. I typically do have the bow tie on most of the time when I go someplace when I'm doing whiskey, bourbon, cigars. So yes, usually that is correct.
I'm gonna have to have some bow tie one day, just in general principle. It's not gonna work though.
You should try it. Yeah, I think you should try it.
With you, Matty, though, I think you would have to wear a shirt like that and just throw on the fucking bow tie just as like an add-on. And it doesn't go at all with your outfit, but it would go with what you would be wearing.
And I feel that myself and the word haberdashery are two words that are never used in the same sentence. So I'm going to get like one of the Ranger Rick clip-on ties. They'll be like, well, Matt, the proper way to tie. I'm like, no. the proper way for me to put on a bow tie is you hear the little clippings. There you go. You know, I have that a certain amount of pride.
Well, I'm happy to be here with you guys.
No, it's so good to have you, and there's so many good people coming in. And if you're just coming in, again, it's Robert Jacob Lerma, a photographer extraordinaire from Austin, Texas. Barbecue. I mean, I was seeing we have so many similar friends in the world of bourbon. I see these pictures with Fred No, and just saw Kerry Bringle last week sipping some of his bourbon.
Yeah,
you've got you've hung in some good circles there.
First off, I never describe myself as extraordinaire. I never use influencer. I'm just a guy with the camera trying to tell stories.
Well, I got to say that I get to say great things.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds great, but I just want to fit in. I'm just trying to be one of the guys, whether a pit room or in a rick house. I've been fortunate to cook with Fred in his backyard out in Bardstown, which was amazing. He showed me his smokehouse where he has all the hams hanging. And I'm blessed to have been able to hang out with Kerry. I've gotten a little tipsy in his little apartment above Peg Leg Porker one too many times.
I just did last week. I feel you.
I mean, it's almost like sacrilege to not if you're out there.
It just sounds like it could be going into an AA ad really fast. Both you gave that sigh, like, yep, we've had our share. Woo!
Matty, AA's for quitters. I mean, more power to them. If that's what they want to do. I mean, currently my job is in psychiatry, treating people with, substance abuse and mental health challenges. But, I firmly believe in the beauty of what we do, and obviously is in moderation,
of course,
enjoying it, but of course we joke about it because
artistry, baby. You got
right.
Artistry and camaraderie all put together. That's why we like the fine bourbons and spirits. That's why we like cigars. So you're able to put all those together, and then we have you to bring all those things to life for the people who can't be there in person. So, ta-da.
I mean, if I'm doing my job and I don't fuck it up, I mean, that's the goal, to have you feel like you are there. And if you're not there, you want to be there. You want to be hanging out with these people. You want to be eating their food. You want to be listening to their stories.
Absolutely.
Speaking of that, I just had a text with one of your buddies, Mr. Ed Randolph. So he was going to surprise you and pop on this evening. But the good news, bad news. I'll give you the bad news first. The bad news is he's not going to make it onto the show tonight, and that's because the good news is because he's jam packed up at the restaurant and he can't break away. So I wanted everyone to hear this first, along with Ed and I. So I'll be saying it without Ed, but August 7th, there will be a charity event for the one and only Carl Ruiz. 75 people. Put it in your date book there, Robert. $150 a head, limited to 75 seats. There will be barbecue. There will be.
Where is this? Is it going to be at Handsome Devil?
It will be at Handsome Devil.
So,
August 7th, people. So listen up. We're going to be putting out that link very shortly. So for the late, great Carl Ruiz, the Cuban, Matt Kwan brother, we love you and we miss you. So it'll be going for Carl's charity organization, where he sends underprivileged kids to culinary school. And then Ed has one of his local charities that help feed young children as well. So there's going to be 5 different sticks that are showing up. There'll be sticks by Davidoff, Perdomo, Herrera Esteli by Drew Estate, a Section 8 by our boy Sanj, and Ashton. So barbecue, spirits, and Tom, let them know the one and only Tom Fischer will be there as well.
That's right.
I think you got to lead with that next time, Matty.
I don't know what the lineup of whiskeys will be, but I know it's going to be some amazing stuff that will pair with all of those cigars. And I'm going to be sure that I bring some limited edition and rarer stuff along too, just to entice everyone. Really looking forward to it, Matty. Thank you. It means a lot to support such a great cause.
It's going to be a lot of fun, Robert.
Yes.
I hope you can make it. I was hoping to have Ed be able to jump on and surprise you, but that didn't work out quite that way.
So, I didn't know Carl as well as some of these other guys who live in New York. I met him 3-4 years ago, maybe 4 years ago at the Big Apple block party out there in Madison Park. And he was doing a TV show, or not a TV show, a radio show. And immediately I was like, who the fuck is this guy? I already like him. I heard him when I turned the corner talking. And since then it was like, he's always inspired me to live in the moment, to have a good time. His perspective on everything was just for me. inspirational.
Yep. Hashtag
So funny-
Ruiz, and that's what it was all about, man. So Ruizing was living life to its fullest, enjoying every moment, and I can still hear him cackle because. Listen,
So-
Robert.
about 3 weeks ago, a month ago, I'm sitting in my backyard with my buddies, and I'm like, I think I was talking to Gloria, and she's like, hey, she's coming to my party or something, and brought up Carl. I was like, you know what, tonight's a good night to Ruiz. I'm gonna start Ruizing. So I pulled out a beam bottle, single barrel Jim Beam, because that's what he drank all the time. And no shame in my game, I had some Budweiser. So I was like, fuck it, we're gonna do it all. And 45 minutes later, that bottle's gone. And the next day, my wife is telling me all the shit that I did that night before the night. No recollection. She's like, you're not allowed to go Ruizing anymore. It's like, it's in my backyard though. It was a good time.
Those are common Ruizing stories.
Right?
It's true. What usually meant the next morning was Matty, I have a mission for you stories. I'm like, we need an extraction, brother.
It's like, it seemed like a good idea at the time.
We are seeing. I think Ed is saying something to us right now. Damn, who's that guy on the right? So,
Shit, it's the Randolph.
he was able to peek in briefly. Also, we see Tracy watching, Brian
Hey,
Toner. Lots of great people. Allison Trainer is saying hello to
Allison,
Robert.
what's up, baby?
So many good people watching. Take a moment, like this, share this. If you watch us every week, we do this coffee giveaway.
Ed, you're still on there too. Drop that link to Tom so we could post it up for the Eventbrite.
I mean, y'all are giving away stuff. Can I give away stuff? I mean,
You can
I
give
would
away
love
stuff
to give.
too. Yes.
I would love to give away a bottle. I have more of these in my house.
Oh,
and we're gonna
wow.
see my bar in a little bit too.
Oh, nice. Yeah, we can certainly take a giveaway from you. Maybe we'll do 2 giveaways. We'll do one for the coffee, and then one for somebody else. So again, the prizes have been upped this week. Take a moment, like and share this. And again, we see as you're doing the show, we actually have someone watching for us in the back. When you like and retweet or share this, we see it, and we put you in the hat. So make sure you like and reshare it. All that. What are you sipping on then, Robert? I know you have several good ones there. What do you got going on first?
So currently, I'm sipping on this. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm a big Parker's Heritage fan, and this one's from a few years back. This is my last. I had 3 bottles, but I think bourbon is meant to be enjoyed, particularly with friends. So I mean, essentially, y'all are here with me. But my mantra has been open every bottle. Kind of live in that moment, similar to Carl.
Yeah.
You can't take it with you. So we're sipping this right now.
Is that the golden anniversary?
No, this is from, I think, maybe 3-4 years ago. These are finishing those Curacao barrels.
Okay, that's the Curacao. The golden anniversary also had the yellow label. The Curacao is amazing. I love those. Tell us what you're tasting there.
All right, let me get back in it.
Get back in there. Yes.
I mean, what's distinct to me on this one, and I don't, I let Minnick and all these technical folks do all that stuff. Personally, for me, it's like, how does it make me feel? What does it make me think about? I've never been one to get overly nerdy on the technical side, because I can think that's just never been my jam. But for me, this is pretty obvious that those orange citrus notes on this one, with obvious stone fruit, plum, which is funny because I have my plums nearby. But this Parker's, I just love what they're doing, particularly with their heavy char releases lately, the last 2-3 years. And I just read that they're going to be dropping another one in the next few months. But I'm a big fan of what they're doing over there. And I just wish there was more of it to go around, because once it's gone, it's gone.
There are, and I'm glad you're talking about this. Of course, Curacao being a type of liqueur that comes from the Dutch island of Curacao. It's that bitter orange. It has that citrus. Now there are, and there's one of them that I can't talk about, but I know there's a few other bourbon distilleries that are finishing bourbons in orange Curacao. I'll tell you about those off camera. But I love that one. I think it's amazing. It is really great, and what a good first pick of the night. Robert, I know you have some others there. I got one here we'll talk about in a moment to match yours, but I am doing a Peerless Bourbon single barrel, and one of the nice things about their single barrels is they name them whatever they taste, the top level flavors. This one is from, I think, last fall. It happens to be Dulce de Leche, so this beautiful nice caramel, milky flavor on this little smoked sugar on there. I'm pairing it with the Pappy Van Winkle Tradition cigar tonight. So nice.
There we go. And that's the next stuff I got to send out to Robert. So they did 2 Pappy Van Winkles, Robert. They did the traditional, and then they did the Pappy Van Winkle infused with the Pappy 12.
Yeah, really good stuff. Both amazing. What are you and Sanj smoking there, Matty?
Sanj is doing his Sanj things in the back, helping some people. But tonight I popped out one of the old Liga Privada 9s. That has the cedar lining in it. So you already know how much I love my Maduro wrap. So you add that extra sweetness from this aging in the cedar in the tube, and makes for a very happy guy.
So I will be looking forward to that package, Matty. I noticed you sent me a lot, but there was none of those in that one. So,
so he's like, I noticed there was a glaring omission.
That just screams encore.
Yep. That's part of the glaring omissions, but that'll be in your next snack bag.
Nice.
I just love exploring cigar making. I've been casually smoking for about maybe 5-6 years, but really in the last year I started to kind of educate myself, and it's very fascinating to me. It's along the lines of barbecue and bourbon, very craft. They're rooted in history. There's people who are really masters in their profession, and the more I kind of learn about it, the more I think romantic it gets to me. So I would like to explore more. I have never shot a cigar. I don't even know what you call it. A cigar making facility, or people who make it, or the fields out there. That's something that would be exciting to me to go shoot, tell that story.
And then, and like I said, that's going to change, because you're going to be coming on some of our events that we do, where you literally see it go from seed to cigar. You participate in the farm, you watch, you talk to the people, to the farmers, to the blenders, to the creators. So you see all different aspects of how it goes. And that's why obviously high-end spirits and bourbons and whiskeys and ryes and cigars go together so well, because you're talking about true artisan masters creating this stuff. And by the time you see how many hands of people in both of those industries get into it, I mean, it's incredible.
Yeah, no, it truly is. I was going to pull up just for a moment if I do it the right way, and I usually do when it comes to, I've gotten pretty good at this. Screen share. Aha. I wanted to show. Here's a photo of our buddy Fred No there.
Yeah. So we were crushing. I think he had 8 styles of country ham while we were tasting at that, and that was that back house out there on the Knob Creek Bean property.
Mm-hmm.
But
that Knob Creek house. Yeah,
I mean, I could watch this guy drink bourbon all day.
Yeah, he's such a great guy, and his authenticity is amazing.
He's if he didn't tell you, or if he's not wearing that shirt, you would think he's just guy walking into a bar. Guy walks into a bar, and he has stories like that go along those lines. He's just an everyday guy who I would just enjoy listening to. His stories are remarkable.
Yeah, he definitely has some great ones. Let's see what else here. What else? Oh, what do we have here? That looks good.
That's my boy Lena Bertello from Truth Barbecue. Actually, it was his birthday yesterday.
Oh wow! Happy birthday!
In my opinion, that guy makes the best brisket in Texas, which means he makes the best brisket in the country.
Wow!
He's a mad scientist. He started out at this small place in Brenham, and then he opened up another place in Houston, and he's just crushing it. He is at the top of the game in terms of the craftsmanship in the barbecue world.
Excellent. No, that looks. I'm just going to go through some random ones here. I just wanted to show everybody as they're watching. That looks like a good plate there. What is that plate? Banger sauce?
Yeah, that was a snack. That was an appetizer for me. That's whole hog right there at Bangers here on Rainy Street in Austin. One of my good friends, Ted Prater, he's a country boy from Tennessee, North Carolina, who's doing his interpretation of whole hog here. Bangers, also has 207 beers on draft here, most in the state. So it's just a good place to go hang out, have good food. And they do a lot of collaboration. That was a collaboration, series with them. That one was with Evan Leroy of Leroy and Lewis here in Austin. Another guy who's just crushing it here in Austin.
Yeah, no, that's great. So many great photos of both the makers themselves and then also the food, and then the people with their food too. Look at this one's powerful. I love this.
Oh, so that was in Oaxaca. So I took that last February. That was the last international trip before the apocalypse happened. But interesting about Oaxaca is, unlike here in America where men are predominantly cooking barbecue, in Oaxaca, Mexico, the women are grilling, are barbecuing,
Wow.
and the men are out there in the fields doing other stuff.
Yeah.
So that was one of the mercados out there in Oaxaca, and this lady is just doing her thing, selling chorizo and whole cuts of pork, and obviously there's a pork head right there, which anybody who's had pork head, you just pull that meat from the cheeks, those jowls, fantastic.
Yeah, I like the contrast. The pig's just kind of hanging upside down, and the lady's smiling in a big way. And
you notice that?
It's a nice contrast. The pig's just kind of hanging there, and the lady's smiling. I mean, the whole thing has a lot going on. We know that pig's going to make a lot of people happy, though.
That makes me happy.
I've always tried to use like the environment and natural environment. So first off, I don't use any lighting. Everything's always
That's amazing. I love that
natural
shot.
lighting. And that's a dark market, and to try and frame everything again, to try and tell a story. So if you are not there, you could feel like you were there. You can feel that energy of this lady, and they were just so nice out there. Out there in Oaxaca, everybody was like 5 foot tall, so we kind of stood out. I'm 6'2", and everybody was just so hospitable. I can't wait to go back. And side note, we maxed out on our we limited out on bringing back mezcal from all the distilleries.
Mezcal.
Yeah.
These are all up on Robert's page. Now, when you're actually just shooting, I mean, you're very, very talented. When you're just shooting food versus a person, is there any different thoughts that you take towards? I mean, you capture the food so nicely. Anything that and maybe other photographers who are watching this, tips you have?
Well, I try not to overproduce it. I try and make it, there's a lot of like criticism, like, like for McDonald's, for example, or advertising. It doesn't look like that when you get to the restaurant. I try and, be as authentic and real as I can be. And so that's at Regal's Barbecue in Houston. And I shot that stuff for Russell for his, his website and advertising. So, there was a little different spin to it, but ultimately I try and be as real to the plating and to the food as possibly can. With people, it's, I've been fortunate to develop really close relationships, so they get really comfortable with me. It's very unnatural to have a big camera in your face, so they almost forget there's a camera in their face, so I can get very authentic, real imagery, taking portraits. And I've always tried to be a little different, with barbecue and bourbon, all these things being so ubiquitous. How can I shed light on a different angle, so where people have seen it their whole life, but they're seeing it for the first time with this image, and it can kind of tell them something new.
Yeah, that is.
So work the angles, get a little high, get a little low, play with lighting. And some of these things are in my house. I've been, that's Valentina's.
Look at the char on that brisket, man. That's amazing.
Oh yeah, that's my favorite place to go eat barbecue in Austin, Valentina's. That's
your favorite Austin one?
In Austin, yeah. And
wow.
And there's so many. I mean, it's always funny. We joke you can take the worst barbecue in Austin. It's probably be the best in some states. That's how spoiled we are.
I love what happens. Then I went up towards the top looking at some of the recent photographs, and a place that I've been a couple of times. It's been a little while. I guess I did scroll down. Is Treaty Oak. Look at that. I love what those guys do. The Treaty Oak. That's the barrel reserve rum. I love what they do. They do a great job.
So that was actually yesterday while I was lounging in my pool.
Nice.
But I tell Daniel all the time, we need to make more of that rum. And Treaty Oak is about 6 miles from my house.
Oh wow.
So I'm very spoiled to go down there, talk with Daniel, who's the owner, talk with Elias, who's currently the executive chef there. But I think with some of their newest releases, like I'm showing you the Ghost Hill. I mean, they're getting close to that 4-year mark. Some of the
Yeah.
stuff's fantastic.
All right, here we'll bring this back up so you can show this other one. You have the which one of their expressions do you have there with you?
Oh, so this one right here, this is their Ghost Hill, but this is 3 years, 2 2 months. It's a red, white, and blue series that was released for 4th of July, single barrel. So our heirloom grains, and the distinguishing thing about Treaty Oak that I love is secondary flavoring grain is not a rye or wheat. It's actually barley, which is, I think, provides an added nuance to the bourbon that is unlike anything else around here. And I love that. I love the variety of bourbon. That's why I love exploring so much, and that's what I think what's going to really make them stand out compared to some of these other places.
I agree. They're doing amazing work. So if you're only a few miles from them, I know exactly where you are. I've been there several times. They do wonderful work. If you have any questions for Rob, ask them down below, and we'll take any questions you might have. We are making some people hungry, though. Brian says. Brian Toner's saying we're making him hungry. Yes, that can happen. So you have.
Yeah, Brian, I'm sorry. I can't be held responsible. So if you overindulge and eat tonight, you're a grown-ass man. You make decisions for yourself, but you're welcome. As long as you have a good time.
I entirely condone it, support it, agree with it. Rock on.
Keep doing it. Keep doing it. Now, when it comes to this whole niche of you've done a lot with obviously cuisine, barbecue. How did that happen for you? How did you actually start in this with the photography and then find this niche?
So, like I was saying initially, I don't do this full time. I work in psychiatry. I'm CEO of a psychiatric hospital. And, I just built my newest hospital, in November. And I've been doing this as a side project for the last, seriously since 13. But I think we all dabbled in photography at one time or another. The first thing I did in photography, I was shooting, crime scenes and autopsies. I was a crime scene, technician for the police department when I was 19. I got sent to forensic photography school, and that's how I kind of started. And then, fast forward to, 2008 when I moved here to Austin, I got exposed to all the barbecue places, and I was just fascinated with the history. Yeah. So I brought my camera and just started, fucking around, not taking it serious. And then people seemed to like it. And then I started to actually realize, I was like, this could be a thing. So I'm just going to do that. All I'm going to do is barbecue. I'm going to try and do it better than anybody else by telling stories, being unique, getting really at a deeper level than prior. And so here we are. I'm actually leaving. I resigned from my CEO position. I'm going to be leaving that world on the 30th of this month to go do this full time.
Congratulations.
So we'll see what happens.
That's great.
Love that, brother. We know you're going to crush it. It's one of those obvious kind of things.
Yeah, you're very talented. Your shots are amazing, and can be seen so many places. And again, I'm going to put this up here once again because I see a lot of new folks joining us. Instagram, that's where to find him. That'll get you all the other incredible places he is. You have some other bourbons there. I know we talked a little bit about the Treaty Oak. You started with the Treaty Oak, and you have a few others there.
So let me talk about. So yeah, Knob Creek is responsible for me spending so much money over the last 5 years. They introduced me to this world and taught me everything. So they brought me on board about 5 years ago to shoot for them. And they brought me out there, met with, Fred, Freddie, Beth, everybody. And I just fell in love, and again, for me, barbecue at that point was the end all be all. And then I realized there's a lot of similarities here and I love it and it tastes great. So I've been a big fan of them forever. So this one's special because this is a 16-year single barrel. And as you know, Tom, they're not even making these anymore.
Yeah, these are tough to find, right?
Yeah, this is so this is let me see this one. This is a Blue Rose special. Barreled in October of 2004 and bottled in 2020. Wow. And I always, people who are always chasing bourbon, the same stuff all the time, just drives me nuts because these used to sit on the shelves and I would buy as many as I could.
Yeah.
And
they're so good.
more so these days because you can't find them anymore, and they're fantastic.
Yeah, a lot of the limited editions they've done, the twice barrels. I've always been a big fan of the Knob Creek. Even just just grab a 9-year-old and just enjoy it. Or the rye. I think we were actually the first to report on the rye. I guess it was nearly 10 years ago on Bourbon Blog when they first released the rye, which is an amazing rye. They just done such a great job, and it's so easy to find. Well, not the one you're with, but the others. If you're looking for a good solid bourbon someplace, you can be assured you can find some good Knob Creek. And for 9-year-old bourbon, they even put, from what I understand, again, no one told me for sure, but they put some 10 and 11 and sometimes even some 12 in those Knob Creeks, and it's delicious.
Yeah, I mean, that was my gateway drum, the 9, and I still have that. I mean, that's a daily sipper all day. I can drink that. But you got to get to a point where you want to up the ante a little bit, and that's why any black label with any pick, I'm grabbing.
Barrel picks. I had some single barrel picks only a few weeks ago at one of my local stores called High Spirits. They've released a few of them. They're always delicious. I love it. And I tell you, even that smoked. I mean, again, I don't get super into flavored bourbon, but that smoked maple Knob Creek, you get enough of the whiskey, but you also get the flavor. It's delicious. It's really something special on occasion to have.
I think so. And then the last one I have here is just a Four Roses pick from my buddy's place out here in Austin, a Moonshine Bar and Grill. And so I think this is an OESK. It's a 9-year, 11 months. But, I get a shout out to my boy Larry. Larry has always been my inspiration as far as like a collection that, when you come to Austin, Tom, I will take you to his place.
I would love that.
I'm going to show you my bar in a minute, but that fucking guy, it's a museum at his house. And so anything that he's picking, I'm buying.
I love it. I hopefully we'll be back there at some point in the next year or so. Now, just to, like I said, I grabbed the first thing I could find, and I don't just have a bunch of limited edition Four Roses sitting around, but I happen to have one from 10 years ago that I'm going to pour next since you're talking about Four Roses. We featured it's been several years, not that many though. Four Roses actually was the bourbon we poured at my wedding, so it's always been a really special bourbon to my wife and I love the single barrels, so I'm going to pour this and enjoy a little sip there with you. Okay, so many great bars, so many great cocktail bars, whiskey bars in Austin. I'll tell you one of my favorites. I have several, but I was trying to think of the name the other day, and then it came to me. Nickel City.
Oh yeah, Travis and Brandon are doing fantastic.
I love that place. I love Nickel City.
Opened in Fort Worth. Another place that I love. One of my good friends, the owner there too. Roosevelt Room. Their cocktails are phenomenal.
Yes, Roosevelt Rooms. That was another one I was going to check. I love their cocktails. So many good vibes, though. Everything from the down to earth to the more classy, going more Roosevelt Room. I mean, there's so many good places. Do you have a favorite cocktail? It probably depends on the kind of barbecue. Do you have a favorite go-to cocktail with barbecue?
Whatever you put in front of me, Tom, I'm drinking. It really depends on the day. Obviously, I think the obvious ones are the old fashions and Manhattans, and I can obviously drink that shit all day. But lately I've been doing a lot of mezcal cocktails.
Oh, yeah.
Mezcal cocktails. I fucking love mezcal.
Yeah, me too.
And getting into different types of higher end, fancier rum. I obviously a big fan of Foursquare, but I think rum is another one of those spirits that those dark spirits that is just if people really knew about rum, they would spend more time drinking better rum.
Oh yeah, there's so many good rums. I mean,
right.
Foursquare, like some of the limited editions. I'm a big fan of Plantation. I love a lot of the Plantation. Yeah. So we're gonna have some real fun though when I get back to Austin or whenever we.
You have no idea, Tom. I'm gonna get you so.
I can imagine. Yeah, no problem happen.
Yeah. Be careful what you wish for.
I think for fun one day we'll have to have Florida Canya. We have to have our brothers from Nicaragua.
Yes, I love the Florida Canyas too.
And you can ask
do a little show with the guys from Florida Canya.
Ask Ed and Nicole about the time they had when they were here last time, and we had a little experience at my bar.
Rum's one of those things that it hits you a little different, for me at least, than bourbon does. I mean, I kind of know what's happening on my palate and on my belly with bourbon, but when it comes to rum, it can be a little surprising depending on the night.
See, for me, that was gin, because you usually feel fine, right? Until you actually operate your feet and you find out that they're not really attached to your body anymore.
Is that what used to happen to you?
Yeah, because, oh, this goes down smooth. I'm fine. I am not the least bit fucked. Then you're like, yeah, no, this shit doesn't work. I'm like, someone want to help me out a little bit here? Your feet are pointed backwards. You're not going. So, yeah, I'm fine. I'm good. So, yeah, that used to be my sneaky sneak was the gins.
Gin can do that. Gin, some of the clear spirits definitely can. I see Rob's wearing a Herrera Esteli hat too.
Yeah,
Courtesy
baby.
of Matty Rock.
What's better than Herrera Esteli action? And and I put some Herrera Esteli in the bag for Robert, so I'll go through to see what he digs.
And the hat smells like you. It smells like suede.
Oh man!
And Ben Gay, Matt. I mean, I don't know if you got injured or something.
If the hat smells like me, it's probably most likely smells of shame. Yeah. You scratch and sniff. Do I smell shame? Huck, you do.
He sprayed some of his cologne on there for you whenever he threw it in there. The Shame. It's called Shame. Is that what it's called? All right.
Yep. Shame by Matty Rock.
Hey, Tommy, you want to check out the bar? Tommy, you want to check out the bar real quick?
Oh yeah, let's. Oh, I would love to see it. Love to see your bar.
Yes, sir.
We'll take a little journey into the bar of Robert Jacob Lerma. And do you have photos of this on your Instagram? This is a special sneak peek.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like to do that. I mean, but I can share some of those. People. Hold on, let me. So these are some of my pits that I have right here. My smoker.
Oh wow.
Custom. We got another one right here. And so we'll go into the house real quick. I'm in my backyard.
Taking a little journey here.
Yeah.
Rob Lerma. Ask any questions you want. Ed Randolph says it's the greatest bar ever. And so many good people watching. We appreciate you all watching here.
All right. So let me turn my light on.
All right. I like to be virtually walked to the bar. I know there's going to be some things I want a virtual pour of there.
So there's my bar.
Oh, wow. Look at that. I like that. And of course, the whiskey looks amazing. The chandelier. I mean, this is classy. This is a classy meets Texas and elegance and so many things all in one. What was your goal as you created the vibe here?
Like a New York tavern, like an old school New York tavern. You see these ceiling tiles up here?
Yeah, those are cool.
Those are like recovered from a old restaurant, like Range Sections. They're about 120 years old. Pressed steel.
Wow.
Yeah.
Was it a restaurant in Texas? You said.
Yeah, former restaurant. Then I got my big ass bison mount. I call him Beauregard.
It's like I just see a reflection of myself.
Yeah. And then I obviously got to support my friends. Marion was here a few months ago, pouring her.
She's awesome. Yes.
Yeah, and then what you can kind of see, I got tons of bookers.
I see you have a little thing for bookers. I love bookers. So
bookers was my introduction into bourbon. When I turned 21, I had no idea what the fuck I was doing. So I was like, I'm gonna go buy a nice bottle of bourbon, and I bought a bookers. This was in 2002. Little did I know, how rare they would be. I would have bought the whole damn lot.
Right.
But that was my kind of entry, not knowing what I was doing. But I have them all. And then, obviously, I kind of show you.
Nice.
And I like, again, you see that most of them are open.
Blood oaths are beautiful. I see some stag, whistle pig. I'm a big fan of a lot of those. Widow Jane's beautiful. Yeah. More and more of those Parker's Heritage. Michter's very nice. So many good ones. You have so many nice ones.
Yeah, and then, you got obviously all the Wellers. But I'm a big fan of these picks. You see, those are all different Four Roses picks.
Yep.
And then up top, you can kind of see the usual suspects.
I like how you have Biggie overlooking operations there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Biggie's making sure it all stays.
Love it.
And those are custom commissions that I did from my buddy here in Austin.
Those are cool.
Here's another
Oh yeah.
There we go.
Very nice, my friend.
Yeah. And I got another one right here. My wife just got me this one for my birthday. You see all the pappies in there
those
too.
pappy sticks are good.
Yeah. So we'll go back outside, but that's the bar. This is where we kind of have fun.
Very nice. No, it's a beautiful bar. I like just kind of the fact it's in a corner. It does have that sort of old New York sort of feel. Beautiful bar.
Yeah, and then I got some other
Beautiful
stuff.
setup, my brother.
Yeah.
So then we got these are my other excess. So we got tequila, mezcal, wine, gin, some scotches.
Oh yeah. Some of the Master's Keep I'm seeing. I'm seeing a lot of familiar beauties there.
Yeah.
And what's the most recent thing you found lately that you're just really loving? Anything that you've just come across lately that you're like, nice new find?
Well, lately it's hard to come across anything these days because they're so scarce. So I got a call from my buddies about the Russell's 13, which I thought was fantastic.
Right. It's fun to find those, and I try to love the ones that are tough to find, but also love some of the ones that are easier to find too. So I certainly feel you.
My buddy brought me an Evan Williams 12 from the distillery that I think is fantastic. I mean, we can't even get those here in Texas.
Right, those are tougher.
But I play all around the whole range. There'll be days I'm sipping old Granddad. Bonded Granddad, and I think that's fantastic too.
Oh, it's so much fun to find those that are a little easier to find. Some of the bottled and bonds. Have you tried? And I'm just talking out loud here. Have you tried any of the Chattanooga whiskeys from Tennessee yet?
I have not.
Those are, and of course, I started with the Peerless and the Full Roses. I really do like the Chattanooga whiskeys. Those are so good, and they're getting in more. I don't know if they're in Texas yet. They may be.
They are.
But they're amazing. They're really, really good. Really nice stuff.
There's just so much out there, and I hope, this momentum continues because obviously people are going to be sitting on a lot of barrels if they can't sell them. If people lose interest, similar to like the 70s and 80s.
Right.
But I'm a fan of some of these smaller distilleries and some of the cool shit that they're doing. Yeah. And I love younger whiskey. I think people get caught up on age statements and, this is X amount of years. There's some good shit coming out there that's 4 years old, 5 years old.
Yeah. There is. And it's amazing how much deeper they are. Like, for example, this Peerless, I want to say this is about 5 or so, this single barrel. And it tastes like it could be like 10 plus. I mean, what they're doing there with the sweet mash and the barrel proof and everything. To me, it tastes a lot older than it is. And it's always fun to find those. Do you have you must have several, but do you have a favorite photo ever that you captured of like a glass of whiskey or something boozy?
I'd be lying if I said yes. It's probably not a glass. They're people. My favorite pictures are of people, not of food. And those are always, during those moments where I have a, personal story behind that photo that kind of resonate with me. To be quite honest, food is not as interesting to me as trying to capture somebody's emotions and somebody's, inner self. So I don't have any favorite cocktail photos. I mean, or food pictures. My best, photos for me are the ones of people in their environment doing what they do.
Right.
And before I forget, another one of those ones along Peerless is Wilderness Trail that
they're doing amazing as well.
Yeah. Fantastic.
I love the Wilderness Trail with the sweet mash, what they're doing as well. It's delicious stuff. It's so good. Just more and more, always more and more. And that's part of the beauty of last 15 years or so here. Just when we first started Bourbon Blog, it was, several new releases here and there every few months. Now it just can't even keep track of them. It's just,
well, you can't even get glass now to bottle some of these,
right.
My friends at Beam yesterday, and they're waiting on glass so they can release, Little Book 5. So that's looking at November now.
Just tell them to ship you the barrel, just to roll that barrel in there. You're okay. Sipping it from the barrel, aren't you?
I keep telling Freddie, I will give you however many briskets you want, beef ribs you want. Send me a barrel.
See, these are the kind of bartering system that I like when you have all
Bartering.
the artisan guys together. I'm like, all right, we have this brisket over here. This is going to get you this cigars, which is in turn going to get you this bourbon. So
There has to be a currency way to figure this out. Yes.
I kind of like the caveman instincts, how it all goes back to where it all goes to the bartering system
Right.
to get all the good stuff.
Before there was money. This was the money, right?
Exactly.
Right.
You were
You're
trading
absolutely right, Matty.
food.
Oh, that's great. So now once you start full time, well, you've been doing it for so long, but you're going to be doing it full time. What are your plans after that? Where are we going to be seeing you? What are you going to be doing?
So so next week I'll be in Siesta Key on a beach with the family as a kind of precursor to the venture out. But I hope to travel. Prior to the pandemic, I was traveling literally every other weekend. I'd go from my hospital to the airport on Fridays and come back on Sunday, and then do the dance again on Monday. And I
smell events, brother. I smell events. I'm just saying.
Exactly. So I want to do a little bit more of that. Maybe probably not on the frequency as I approach 40 next month. I need some time to recover.
Right.
But I want to be able to go to these places where historically I had to tell people no because I just didn't have the time.
Right.
And I was limited to Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So we'll see where the road takes me. I'm close with a lot of the restaurants and bars here. So I'll do a lot more of that locally. And my job really is to kind of take care of my backyard, take care of my people here, my friends. So if I can use my platform, if you want to call it that, to elevate some people doing cool shit, then I'm going to do my part. But I would love to get involved in the whole cigar making process.
Yeah.
And you guys are, I think.
Yep. So what we have those barn smokers, man. So we'll make sure you're a part of them. I sent you those dates, so you'll be our guest at those. And like I said, the beauty of the barn smokers, you literally go from seed to cigar and everything in between. You're out in the farm. You're actually talking to the farmers. So the one that's coming up on August 13th and 14th, you're actually out there on the farm in the Connecticut River Valley, and you're talking about the Connecticut shade wrappers. You're talking with the farmer. So we have our invite sent out to you. I gave you the dates and everything. That's when you really learn about it. And then after next year and after the last cloud of COVID leaves us in peace, we do cigar safaris in Nicaragua. So literally, you're out in the fields. You go to the factory.
Yeah.
That sounds great.
It's cool stuff.
I just know I like them. I don't know as much on the bourbon and barbecue side, but I'm interested in learning as much as I can. So I'm going to put that on you, Matty, to be
got you, baby.
My sensei. School me.
We shall. We will bring you up to speed on all the stuff we do. Like I said, that's the beauty of what everybody in this frame does, right? It's all artisan stuff because at the end of the day, it's all art. The photography is art, the way you connect with people, the artistry in creating and enjoying. And the third most important part of that is the camaraderie when all these things bring people together. And that togetherness, just what you said about the photography, your favorite pictures aren't of things, they're of people enjoying the moment, people enjoying the situation. So that's big stuff. And I think if we learned anything from COVID, we've learned how much we all miss each other. We miss that camaraderie and we miss sharing all these things together. So I hope if any one good thing came out of all this madness, it was that how much we really miss the togetherness and how much we all miss sharing, right?
That's right. Yeah, absolutely. We're looking forward to all being together.
I'll drink to that.
Yeah, no, we will all drink to that for sure.
That's probably the most serious I've ever heard Matty be ever. But I completely agree.
It's scary, right? Hold on, I'll take the rope, switch back off. There we go. Jerk off. Matty's back. Better.
But you're exactly right. I mean, at our granular level, we are social creatures.
Yeah.
These are things that bring people together, and
Right.
whether it be the bourbon or the barbecue, the cigars, and you can't discount what they do to as far as bringing people from all cross sections of life. And when I go to a barbecue place, it's always beautiful to see people who would probably hate each other if they were talking politics online, but are having a good time, happy, talking to each other. And if we can, I do believe, it sounds kind of cheesy, but if we can use these as kind of catalysts to advance certain conversations, then I think we're making some progress. Because I'm tired of seeing all the fucking negativity. It's disgusting because I think we are so much more alike than we are polar opposites.
100%, bro.
So true. Yeah. And these are, as you so well stated, Rob, these are these are great instruments that we can, congregate around and learn from each other and learn about different regions and about how they're made. And it's really the beauty of it, how it all brings us together and how all this has, I see so many regulars watching and new people too, how it helps us communicate with you every Saturday night here on Cigar Saturday. And I'm so glad you're on the show, Rob. It's so good to have you here. And again, if anybody has any questions for Rob on photography, barbecue, you name it, Austin, Texas, whatever it might be, ask below. I think we did see a question. Someone was curious about the types of cameras you use. What do you probably have several. What do you like to shoot on?
Lately, it's my iPhone because it's the most convenient. That's always reminded of that Steve Jobs quote: "The best camera you have is the one that's on you." So that's the one that's always going everywhere with me.
Yeah.
But my workhorses are I have a Fuji GFX 100. It's a medium format camera, and then I also have a Nikon D850, and those are my ones that when I'm shooting for brands or for people or whoever that I'm using. In the moments, I just pull out my camera phone and capture the moment. But and funny thing about that is, I started with a cheap ass $60 camera from Craigslist, 15 years ago, and that's how I kind of developed the eye and kind of learned all the technical aspects of photography. And then I upgraded. I think I bought a Nikon D3100. Spent like $300. I was like, what did I just do? I had buyer's remorse. I just spent $300 on a camera. My wife thought I was crazy, and then here I am, that guy, traveling the country. So it was a good investment. It was a good investment.
That's cool. No, and it's amazing how good pictures. Do you, as far as any programs you like to use in post when you do iPhone photos? Are there any that you like to play with?
So, it's always one of those things of us photographers. I mean, personally, I like to shoot in camera, which is, I don't like to do much to the pictures, to be quite honest, because, that gives kind of, false impressions about what it really is.
Right.
But, when I'm doing editing, because I shoot in RAW, I'm using Lightroom.
Nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. Any, if you had one thing you wish that, whether it be iPhone, Android, whatever it might be, would add on their next update or the next time they did one, what would you hope they would do differently?
Well, no, I mean, not to beat on Apple, but I think their cameras suck. I'm waiting for the new Pixel 6 to come out from Google. I had the 4 and the 5, and they're amazing. And I think it's funny because some of the ads I did for Knob Creek were shot on a Pixel phone,
Wow.
not on a fancy camera. They're on a camera phone.
These were the ads that were you were doing for print.
For Knob Creek, I mean, they I don't know what they do with them after I send them, but they went everywhere.
Yeah.
And I was shooting those in my backyard with a camera phone.
Nice. Well, look, you have a great backdrop there. It's great.
That's terrible. I got this nice pool. I have ranch behind me and grills everywhere. It sucks. I mean, I would never lose sight of how blessed I am. I grew up fucking poor. My mom was a housekeeper with an 8th grade education. My father passed away when I was 11. He was a Vietnam vet with PTSD, pretty much drunk himself to death. I never lived in a house until I built my first house when I was 29. So I'm very much aware of where I came from. But, I work hard. So, buy a pool for my family so the kids can enjoy it, whatever.
Lovely. Lovely view you have there. You're doing great work.
Bet you get me some pool floaties for when I come over there. I'm just saying.
It's the floaty.
You are going to be floating on a flamingo floaty in that shirt, in that hat, in my pool. Mark my words, buddy.
Would look perfect on that pool.
Outstanding.
And I'll stay in my bow tie, even if I fall in, it'll be all right.
I smell a G2 shoot.
All right, I'll just wear the clip-on bow tie. So I could try for just one day to be.
Yeah,
to be smooth.
that'll be the story for the neighborhood where my neighbors are like, yeah, he has 2 grown-ass men in the pool, fully clothed, on kid floaties.
Tell them to mind their own damn business. That's what
kind of shit are they filming over there?
So now we know what you quit the business for to film. I
mean, Matt, if you want to send me a check for that shot, I will do that.
You're doing great work, my friend, and I want to put this up there one more time on Instagram. Robert Jacob Lerma, is where to find Robert. And if for some reason any of you all, join this on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook a little bit late, it will be up permanently. This will be on video. We'll also be putting the audio on our podcast channel, which if you like podcasts, we have all the Cigar Saturdays and more on our Bourbon Blog podcast. That's the best place to find us. We'll give you one more chance to share this, then we'll draw a random number here in a moment. But Matty, what are the plans? Any plans for next week? What are we going to be doing?
I think I'm going to be seeing somebody named Tom Fischer next Sunday, so I will be out. In
yes. Are we going to do Cigar Sunday then? Or are we going to still do
we could do Cigar Sunday.
We could do Cigar Sunday.
I think it could be a Cigar Sunday, so I'll put that up. Ed obviously could not be on this evening to get the link for the event on 7th, so keep that in mind. And Robert, so again, we're going to be doing a lot more events here with Sanj at Sanj's Smoke Shop. This place has been here 30 years. Everybody is in here is family. So we encompass food, art, everything else. So there will be events here that we would love to have you at. Tom will be here as well. So that'll be coming up in the near future.
Well, you get my couch ready, Matt. I'm going to be sleeping on your couch.
Get the couch ready.
He has plenty of couches. Tell him, so it's not just plenty of couches.
Whatever you need, brother.
I like that attitude.
Hands off my futon, though, because that's bullshit.
You'll have your selection except for the futon. That's
okay. And what do you call it? I just got a text from Ed. Take a look at the. I see the I'm here. So Tom, if you could copy and paste the link to Eventbrite online.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. I see he did that someplace a moment ago, and
thank you, Ed. Love you, man.
Yeah. So I'll tell you what, Ed. If as you're watching, copy and paste that one more time down below, and then everybody, I'll make sure that I copy and paste it, and then everybody watching on all the different formats will have it. So do that one more time.
I kept clicking porn in between all this, so it moved the link all the way down to the bottom. So
I'm trying. Yeah.
You're supposed to share good stuff. I'm just saying.
Supposed to share it. Yes. We'll be watching. Ed, go ahead and copy and paste that one more time. So maybe we do Cigar Sunday next week, Matty. Maybe that's what we do.
You listen out there, folks. So we got Cigar Sunday live,
and with us in the same place since we started Cigar Saturday.
So how cool is that? So it'll be on the road, babies, where we're
our
all supposed to be
just see each other, or maybe someone special in Nashville. We'll just see what happens.
It could happen. So hold on, I'm waiting for that link. Look, I'm giving Ed pressure.
He just said, "Love you guys." So again, Ed, take what you had copied and pasted, and go ahead and put it under Facebook, and then hopefully I'll see it. But if not, we'll make sure we put it next to this. What you got barbecue for dinner, Rob? You already had some. What's going to be your?
So I was at Snow's this morning. I'm actually once we wrap here, I'm going to be going to a concert down the street. Randy Rogers, Wade Bowen playing a Nutty Brown. So I'm going to have my wife drop me off since I've had a little too much. But my buddies are over there. They're waiting for me. So a little live music. I mean, again, Saturday night in Austin, Texas. I mean, it could be fucking worse.
There is that link on Eventbrite. Oh no, that sounds fun, man. I wish I was there. So if you do, just go to Eventbrite, search the terms "Handsome Devil Charity." I think if you're on Eventbrite now, if you can't copy all that down, go to Handsome Devil Charity, search that, you'll find it, and I'll make sure I post it as well.
Yes, sir. I'll give the quick cliff notes again. So Sanj and I have been able to organize, along with Tom, charity event for the late great Carl Ruiz, aka the Cuban. So all proceeds from this event will be going to his foundation, and Ed has his foundation as well for charity. So in your little snacky pack, you're going to have a bunch of cigars from some of the top manufacturers. You're going to have some of the best barbecue on the planet. You're going to have some fine bourbons and whiskeys and ryes. And I got a whole bunch of stuff for some fun raffles and some other fun stuff going down.
And you get to see me live.
Naked. That's worth money, dude. He charges a lot for that.
I will pay you to keep your clothes on.
But how much?
Oh my God! Did you hear that? He said, "I'll pay to keep your clothes on." Are we gonna have a bidding war on this?
Tom, you better bring a lot of money.
Huh. So we're gonna make things a little.
Could be a bidding war. That could be one of the charity auction items, right?
So what is that?
Say again, Tom.
It could be a charity bidding. If it has to achieve a certain amount to keep his clothes on. There it is. I like that.
Yeah. So just bring the money, and I'm there. You know. And listen, I don't own socks or underwear, so you know. Just letting you guys know.
And just to let you
Not
know,
like
I've
strip
already
poker.
eaten my dinner, so I'm fine with all this. Just saying.
Well, I mean, anytime y'all want to have another conversation, I mean, I really enjoy talking to y'all. I mean, I really can't thank y'all enough for wanting to listen to my story. You know, so I hope we do more of these in the future. And again,
Yeah.
We indeed shall, brother. We'll be
I would love that,
getting
Robert.
it rolling. And Tom, you have a magic number.
Yeah, let's have Rob pull the number from his hat, but it's actually just out of your head. Between 1 and 52.
okay, let me
Random number between 1 and 52 for all those that
let me go through it real quick.
do it. Yes, I love it.
34.
All right, 34 goes to Brian Toner. Thank you for sharing that. Brian is 34. Thank you so much. Getting that bourbon blog or bourbon barrel-aged coffee there. And again, if you want to learn more about the coffee, there's the link. Rob, I know we've been talking for a while on social media. Always heard a lot of great things about you. It's been awesome having you on this, and I can't wait to see you in Austin or someplace very soon. And congrats on going full-time with what you're doing.
Maybe August 7th. I'm just saying.
Well, thank you. You know, my mom says you're very polite. I'm glad she told you all those nice things about me. But my mom just says you're a Southern gentleman. So thank you for talking to my mom and being kind to her. I don't know who else would say nice things about me, but maybe my wife.
I didn't cash that check yet, so I didn't retract.
But thank you, Tom. Thank you, Matty. I'm going to go to a show. You guys have a good rest of your evening, but more to come.
Cheers, everybody. Thanks for watching. And Matty and I will be bringing you details on potentially, I think, what'll be Cigar Sunday next weekend, us in person together.
Outstanding. Much love, ladies and gentlemen. Be safe, be cool.
Much love, everybody. Cheers, Sanj and Matty. And thanks, Rob. Thanks, everybody, for watching.